picture. As Gowers summarized, if a large group of mathematicians could connect their brains efficiently, they could perhaps solve problems very efficiently as well. The post went on to suggest ground rules to make the collaboration easier, such as keeping discussion respectful and making only bite-sized, focused contributions. In a subsequent post, he gave his group the task of proving the Hales-Jewett theorem, which is part of an esoteric branch of mathematics that has applications in computer science and other fields. Other mathematicians quickly took up his challenge. Within 7 hours after Gowers put up his blog post, the first comment was made by Joseph Solomosi, a mathematician at the University of British Columbia. 15 minutes later, Jason Dyer, a high school mathematics teacher in Arizona, made the next comment. 3 minutes after that, another comment came from Terence Tao of UCLA, a winner, like Gowers, of the Fields Medal, the equivalent of a Nobel Prize in mathematics. By mid-March, the participants had solved the core of the problem. By the end of May, there had been over 1,500 comments in which 39 different people made substantive contributions. And in October, the group submitted the first of several articles describing their results, all of which were attributed to D.H.J. Polymath, a pseudonym for the whole group. With all the famous mathematicians involved, you might wonder whether this was really a group project or whether the key work was done by a handful of the most prestigious contributors. It's true that some members of the group contributed much more than others, but a detailed analysis of the complete working record of the project shows that almost every one of the 39 substantive participants contributed influential content. In other words, the Polymath Project made history as the first example of a real contribution to mathematics from a loosely organized group of dozens of people on the Internet, many of whom didn't even know each other before the project started. What's old here? The Polymath Project was successful because it used new information technology, IT, to connect people in ways that would never have been possible before. We'll see many more such stories in this book, vast online groups creating an encyclopedia, Wikipedia, solving difficult scientific problems, Foldit, entertaining each other with gossip, Facebook, and responding to humanitarian disasters like hurricanes, Ushahidi. But in a sense, these digital age accomplishments are all just examples of one of the oldest stories in the history of humanity. The story goes like this. There was a problem. Different people worked on different parts of it. Together, the group solved the problem better than any of the individuals could have solved it alone. In fact, it's not too much of an exaggeration to say that almost all our important problems are solved by groups of people rather than by individuals alone. For instance, it may be common shorthand to say that Steve Jobs created the iPhone, but of course the iPhone was really designed and made by thousands of people all over the world, who in turn built upon a vast edifice of technological inventions that came before them. Even making the turkey sandwich I had for lunch today required hundreds of people to grow, transport, and prepare the meat, bread, lettuce, mustard, and other ingredients. Compared to simple problems like these, trying to solve big societal problems like what to do about climate change, crime, war, poverty, healthcare, and education is far more complex and requires far more people. One name for the ability to solve problems well is intelligence, and we usually think of intelligence as something that individuals have. But as all these examples make obvious, intelligence, in the sense of solving problems well, is something that groups can have too. We'll call the intelligence of groups collective intelligence. And this book is the story of that ubiquitous but often invisible kind of intelligence. We'll see that it was the collective intelligence of human groups, not the intelligence of individual humans, that first differentiated.